It's actually the market is a little bit lower. We've not seen any big recovery. So it's a good time to go across. Nimesh has joined us. Well, Nimesh, what do you make of today's action? We're trading in the red. Maybe 10 minutes ago we were at the low point of the day, but still the flows are solid, or do you think they are, they're taking their leg off the axis?
The flows are solid. That's the feedback. On a day like this, when the Nifty intraday was down 80 points, to come out and say that there's going to be a large market at close buying flow at the leading FI desk, maybe it doesn't show up in the Nifty. But that's the overall feedback, that there is market at close buying interest, and that to a large flow in the Nifty basket at the leading FI desk. So that's the overall feedback as far as flows are concerned. Again, day of consolidation, that's been the trend for the last many days. Again, 18,300 is acting as a very strong resistance on the upside. So that's playing out. And what we're seeing today is a lot of reactions to disappointing numbers. Fag end of the earnings season. And we normally see that, most of the earnings tend to disappoint, and that's playing out in many of the mid-cap and the small-cap indices, and that's why those indices are down sharply in today's trade. I guess the index which is doing very well, and that's well bid, is the PSU banks. That's where a lot of interest seems to be, not only from the HNI and retail investors, but from the larger institutions as well. So that's where the interest seems to be from the larger FIs as well. And again, that's a space which is relatively under-owned, so to speak, within the financial basket. Everybody used to own HDFC banks, LICs, and Kotex of the world. This is a space which was not well owned, and that's why you're seeing a bit of chase now in the PSU basket from the large institutions. The other big liquidity event to track this week would be the MSCI semi-index review, and that's going to happen on the 11th morning, which is tomorrow late night. So Friday is when we'll get to react. I was reading a Morgan Stanley note which came a few days back, and their indication is they're assuming 8 stocks to get added. If all the 8 stocks get added to the MSCI, there will be an inflow of close to $1 billion. So that's something to watch out for, purely from a liquidity point of view, this Friday. So that's something to watch out. But again, day of consolidation, but the feedback is there is a large market at close basket buying at a leading FI desk.
All right, Nimesh, sticking your neck out there. So it's the screen may be showing red, but still you're saying that the flows will be rock solid. So let's focus on a couple of names, though. You already told us about the PSU banking index. What a star that's been. Valuation comfort, under-owned as well. But what other stocks are you tracking?
Okay, so in terms of individual stocks, the first stock on my radar today is Muthoot Finance. After a long time, I'm getting a sense of some interest back from larger FIs in this particular stock, and the volumes are on the higher side. So watch out for Muthoot. Purely from a delivery point of view, the interest seems to be back at an FI desk in Muthoot Finance. So that's the first one. The second stock is Bandhan Bank. Relatively, today the stock is up 2%. But the overall feedback is since the quarter two numbers, there is consistent selling in this particular stock from the larger FI. So even in today's trade, there is a large FI sell figure in Bandhan Bank. So the delivery volumes are high, but on the sell side, at least that's the feedback from the dealing room. So that's the second one. And the last stock is UPL. Again, post quarter two, you've seen a bit of consolidation in that stock. But again, there is accumulation happening in this particular stock from the larger FIs. Most of the brokerages were upbeat on UPL post the numbers. And it looks like there is consistent buying from the larger FIs in UPL, and that's been the trend today as well.
UPL bucking the trend today. It's higher by close to about 1%. Nimesh, thank you very much for that. Let's invite Mitesh Thakkar back on the show to tell us what you can buy.